Harry Prytherch, the man who's entertained you for years and years.
Now you'll know Harry, I'm sure you've all met Harry before. If you're not, this is Harry. Hello Harry. Hello Harry, nice to meet you. That's all right, got it. Harry's got a phone. Harry's got a phone.
Yeah, and what it is, this phone is to attack his phone.
We shall see, we shall see. Oh, photograph, quick photograph. Right then. Well, oh, he's moved it now. I've just seen this on here. Frank Hesse's 66 to 68 Whitechapel, Liverpool. And for those of you who don't know, Hesse's was a musical instrument shop. And I assume, Harry, without looking at that, that's where you bought your drum kit from.
Yeah, that was first proper drum kit, Dave. Yeah, yeah, probably that one. Yeah, that was in my mum's parlour, the parlour in Greyrock Street where we lived, and that was I was about 14, I think.
Is that the Ajax kit?
No, that's on a later one, that Jeff. That was quite expensive. Well, that's the same kit as what's in the quarrymen used when they were on the back of. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Broadway, was it Broadway?
I'm not sure, it might be Dave, you know, because you've been there.
Well, didn't you have a conversation with Colin when he was here from the Quarryman?
Yeah, we had the same.
You probably bought it. Roughly, Hesse's had two in.
Yeah.
You had one and Colin had one.
Yeah, we bought them at the same time. I think it was, according to this book, it was £40, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was paying it off at £1.50 a week. Which, you know, sorry, £1 5 shillings a week.
Or five shillings.
Which was a fair amount of money then, in like 1957, 58.
Incredible piece of history, that. You don't see many of them. I know Dave's got his for his guitar and things like that.
Where's a few bob, eh?
Worth a few bob, that one is. So how did you get started with it? What turned you into a drummer? Drums.
Well, what happened is that my grandmother had used to be the sort of caretaker of a boys' club in Liverpool, a very famous boys' club called the Everton Red Triangle. It was on Everton Road, and they used to have a huge dance hall on top, and it was well known, this dance hall. It was like the Grafton, Locarno, and then Everton Red Triangle dance hall. The floor was brilliant, and they used to have Americans coming from Burton Wood in coaches on a Saturday night to the dance, because obviously they couldn't all get in the Locarno or the Grafton or anything. Hi, Nick. And then I used to go up there and sit with the drummer. In them days, I used to sit on his knee, you know, and you know, it's a bit wrong, really, but you couldn't, you know, you think about it now, you know. Oh, I was sitting on the drummer's knee, and you couldn't do that now, unfortunately. It wouldn't be allowed, but I do remember sitting on his knee, and I think that's how I got into it. It was like dance band rhythm and everything, you know. And then what happened then is I went to a boys' club, which was Fairfield Boys' Club, and I started playing football for them. And that was when I met Keith Stokes in the boys' club.
And Keith later formed with you, the Remo Quartet.
Yeah, because Keith said to me, oh, he said, I deliver milk. He was delivering milk. He said, one of the houses I go to where I deliver milk, I've heard them playing in there. There's a guy in there got a guitar. And it turned out to be Don Andrew, the bass player. And then he had a guitar with his friend from the Liverpool Institute, which turned out to be Colin Manley. So we all got together at Keith's attic on Prescott Road in Liverpool. And we got together one day, and basically we just took off from there. But originally, Dave, as you know, it was we were vocal harmony group.
Yes.
We weren't a rock group or a Shadows type group then. We were just vocal harmony.
And wasn't it Bob Warner who heard you practicing one day? Was that later?
Sam.
Yeah.
Sam tells the story later that he heard us practicing in this hall, and he thought it was around the time when the Apache was out, and Sam heard this coming out, and he just thought it was records, you know. And Sam, as he did in them days, as the people were coming out the hall, it was like a church hall, he sort of just walked in like he was a member of the congregation and everything, you know, and the wedding party. And he couldn't believe it, because, you know, obviously Colin's sound even then was brilliant. I think you've got some early stuff, Dave, haven't you?
Yes. Oh, yeah, well, yeah. Shall we go back to that? Because one of the first things you sort of did was you went to Percy Phillips' studio
We went to Percy Phillips' studio. For those people who don't know, that's the one in Kensington, which the property is still there, and that's the one where the Beatles went and did. You know what that day was? Cry for the Shadow or something.
That'll be the day.
That'll be the day. Yeah, that's it. And so they went there, and also I think Billy Fury went there, didn't he?
Quite a few people went there, yeah. Quite a few.
Rory?
Johnny Guitar went there,
Yeah.
Rory went there.
Well, we made two there. One of them was at the back. Dougie had the foresight to buy it a few years back. And you can see it's at the back of Percy Phillips in a case. And I think it might be the one you got on there, Dave.
Do you want to hear a bit of that?
Yeah.
We've got, this is Charlie Brown, which I don't know which is the A, which is the B side, but we'll go for Charlie Brown.
Colin Manley.
On the other side was, I'll let it play a bit because it's very scratchy at the start.
Yeah.
Wait till the song comes in. But the other side was Teenager in Love, which
Keith Stokes singing,
I
yeah.
assume was from Marty Wilde's recording.
Yeah.
You picked it up from there.
Yeah.
But these acetates don't play, you know, they only play half a dozen times before they start to go. It's a bit crackly, so I'll wait till they start singing.
August 1958 is.
There we go, some early Remo Quartet.
I just explained that to you. Actually, what happened there is that this Percy Phillips's place was a house, and it had an electrical shop in the front, what we would call the parlour in them days. And then you walk down the hall and you came into the back room or the back lounge, and that's where he had his equipment. And luckily I've kept my memory, because talking about these things over the years, you tend to keep your memory. And I can remember walking down this passageway into this so-called back room, and this guy was there with the old brown smock. I'm sure you remember the smocks that people used to wear in the engineering stores, and storekeepers and that used to wear like a brown smock, and he had the smock on. And I remember he only had one microphone, so he sat sort of over here on this so-called machine we didn't know, and with the harmonies, especially with Charlie Brown, we're doing the three-part harmonies, Don, Keith and myself. I've just got a snare drum and they're playing, and Colin's over there, and that's why you hear him. He was basically shouting and running across at the same time when he had to come in with his little bit.
Yeah.
So I can remember that. I didn't know till years afterwards that the Beatles had gone there. And then when we got the offer of actually going back and buying the records, because I was working, I could afford it. I think it was something like 12 and 6 or 17 and 6 or something like that in them days. Same price as the Beatles, I think.
I've got a copy of one of the pages from his book, and I remember talking to Colin about this, because 17 and 6 you went to tape.
Yeah.
And then you could make as many records as you wanted from the tape.
Right.
11 and 6, you went direct to disc.
Right. Well, we only got one because I was the only one who was working, and one of them is at the back there, thank God. And the other one was sold at the Beatles auction a few years back. You come to the point where you want to keep everything, but you can't keep everything. And I know where the one at the Beatles auction went, and I know that was going to the right place. And obviously when Dougie came in and made an offer for that one, I thought, well, it's got to go to the right place.
Yeah. Good place. Like you say, so that was when you were doing vocal harmonies and things. You had little cards made.
Yeah.
It says only cha-cha, rock and roll, pops and ballads.
That was Don Andrew. Don Andrew was great at doing stuff like that. A great artist as well, and that's what we did. We got these little cards made. We can pass these around. And it had on it, there's my address, 33 Greyrock Street. And if you listen to Billy Butler, you'll often hear him, if he talks about the Remo, you'll hear him, I didn't see that there. Mm. You'll hear him talk about when we used to practice in my mum's front room in Greyrock Street, how he used to shout through the letterbox, "You rubbish." and you ladies will love this, because my mum used to come out and shout to him, "Get back up to your own end, you." Because he lived up that end, and you know that, you always said that, go and play in your own end, you know. So he always comes up with that. But he used to sit outside with Billy Kingsley and listen to us practicing.
Is that Hollywood Hall?
Yeah, it looks. It could be. Yeah, it looks. No, that looks like Wilson Hall actually.
Wilson
Dave.
Hall.
I don't know.
Garston.
I'm not sure. That looks like the one in Garston.
We'll pass this round because you can see it better. But there's a great picture of them all there. Harry's with his little drum kit.
You can see how there was no. There was. I think I'm not sure, but I talked to Jeff about this. But the first time we got our Fenders, I think we played with Jeff's band. I'm sure it was over the water somewhere, Civic Hall. And I think we just got out all the full set of Fenders.
That was reported.
We was, yeah. And I remember Jeff's band all looking and thinking, you know, wow, look at that, because we were the first band to basically, outside of London, I think there was the Shadows, and there was a band called the Hunters. Dave Sampson was here a couple of years back. His band was called the Hunters, and they had that. But we were the only band in Liverpool at that time to have a full Fender kit, and that's where the lovely Ajax drum kit come from, Jeff, yeah.
Not only did you have that, two of the proudest things in my collection
Oh,
that
yeah.
you gave to me a while back. If you look carefully on that photograph, just passing round, in the pockets, if you look at Don and Keith, you can see a little hand-embroidered black handkerchief. And Harry gave me that a few years ago.
Yeah.
Along with, I'll put this picture up there, there's a picture of him in the, and Harry sent me this to keep, that is the original.
That's the original boat. I thought, you know, this stuff is going to get lost, and I thought, who better to give it to than to Dave the Rave? So, you know.
I mean, I don't think that's ever been. I've never opened that up. It's just still folded from the day you sent it to me.
Well, that shows you how much class we had, Jeff, didn't it? You know, things, just little things like that. You know.
Yeah, the reason he sealed it because he didn't want to see what was on the inside of that.
No, there's a 10-bob note, I think.
Of the bills in there. But yeah, we just had. I mean, but that's what the way we were. We just had. You know, Bob Waller said, "Wow, you know, great, and what you need is you need some like guitars."